Hey there, fellow Whovians. I'm Stu Jackson, but before we go anywhere with today's video, we need to go to Red Alert because this video contains spoilers for the Doctor Who episode Wish World. So if you haven't seen Season 2, Episode 7 yet, pause this video, go watch it, then come back to see if you agree with this week's picks. So, in this penultimate episode of Season 2, the Doctor is trapped in a disturbingly idyllic suburban dream, but nothing is as it seems. We get delicious classic callbacks like the Doctor again using the alias John Smith, and the shocking reveal that an ancient Time Lord, Omega, is at the heart of the scheme. The episode can feel a bit overcrowded with ideas and exposition, but we'll tease a finale theory here with Omega Unleashed, Omega being the legendary Gallifreyan engineer who powered time travel by harnessing a star. This points to Gallifrey itself possibly returning from hiding. So recall that Day of the Doctor showed that Gallifrey wasn't destroyed but locked away in a pocket universe. In short, buckle up. Wish World sets the stage for a world-altering finale. But first of all, our synopsis. Ruby Sunday and the Doctor wander into Wish World, a perfect 1950s-ish style town where the Doctor, now calling himself John Smith, is happily married to Belinda with a daughter named Poppy. Everyone seems to accept everything as normal, even the giant bone creature silhouettes strolling across London. But Ruby Sunday suspects the cosy facade hides something rotten. In reality, Conrad Clark is unknowingly feeding the Rani's plan, using a space baby member of the Pantheon that grants wishes to keep this fake world alive. We see the Doctor working at units, reimagined as an insurance office of all things, and living next door to familiar faces, even a neighbour who turns out to be Mel Bush. All while subtle cracks appear, broken crockery, authoritarian rules where women are devoted homemakers and same-sex affection is forbidden, and a floating citadel of bone hanging over the city. Nobody thinks that's odd at all. When Ruby shows up asking if John Smith might go by another name, the illusion finally starts to shatter. The Rani reveals herself, having bi-generated Mrs. Flood into her true form, and explains that she's digging into Gallifrey's past to revive Omega, the ultimate goal in this whole fantasy. The episode ends on a cliffhanger. Omega's voice booms and the Doctor is falling to his death, realizing that Poppy is in fact his actual daughter and is real. The truth is out. The Wish World was just a stepping stone to a much bigger Time Lord showdown. So first off, onto our hoorays! The things that worked. First of all, the John Smith alias. It's so much fun to hear the Doctor slip back into the alias John Smith. Now, that name was famously used by the 10th Doctor, David Tennant, in episodes like Human Nature and The Family of Blood. By using it here, the show winks at longtime fans and pays homage to the Tennant era. The subtle nod makes Wish World feel like it's part of that continuous legacy. Secondly, the dystopian nightmare. The episode's alternate reality is as unsettling as it is familiar. On the surface, it's a sunny suburbia, but underneath it's a reactionary fantasy world, with women locked into traditional housewife roles, any form of difference outlawed. Note how Ruby's disabled friend Shirley leads a hidden resistance because the world literally refuses to see them. It's a chilling reminder of hidden control that gave me strong vibes from the 1988 movie They Live. The happy facade masks something dark. Russell T Davies layers in clear commentary on bigotry and conformity. Homophobia and ableism even get name-checked, which heightens the horror. We love how the show makes us question the cost of normal when normal has no room for freedom or diversity. Finally, on the hoorays, the Rani, Archie Punjabi. Introducing the Rani is a blast for classic Who fans. The Rani is a renegade Time Lord or lady villain seen in 1985's The Mark of the Rani, and she's basically a scientist, biochemist to be precise, who doesn't stop to consider the moral implications of her experiments. Archie Punjabi chews the scenery as the Rani with great relish, delivering cold-blooded dialogue that harks back to Kate O'Mara's original portrayal. Now, in canon, the Rani is described by the Seventh Doctor as a brilliant but sterile mind, not one spark of decency. It's exciting to see the Doctor finally facing a classic era foe he was supposed to confront all along. Punjabi's stylish red leather costume and menacing monologues really pay off, and she immediately lives up to the hype as a major threat. But we need to go on to the boo-hoos, the things that missed the mark. So the Doctor Who name drop. A jarring moment for me comes when Conrad literally calls Ncuti Gatwa's character Doctor Who. I guess it's meant to be a meta quip, but it feels forced. In normal Who fare, naming the character Doctor Who is usually avoided because it breaks the immersion. The show's title is the Doctor's nickname, after all. Here, it lands a bit clunky. A wink to the audience that doesn't fit the scene's tone. It's clever that the show acknowledges the cheekiness by having characters talk about Doctor Who stories in the Wish world, but these particular lines are more distracting than dramatic. Another nitpick, the Rani appears and disappears without any explanation as to how she's travelling. Traditionally, Time Lords need a TARDIS, or something similar, to zip around in time. The Wish World scenario never even mentions the Rani's TARDIS, or transport, and this feels like a continuity lapse. One might expect a line about her TARDIS being hidden or parked somewhere. Its absence is a small inconsistency, making us wonder why the show didn't address the logistics of her arrival. It's a minor world-building slip in an otherwise dense plot. So, going into our theory for the finale, we need to first of all ask, Omega is a legendary figure in Gallifreyan lore. Originally appearing in the 1973 story, The Three Doctors, he was a genius Time Lord engineer who enabled Gallifrey's first time travel. But he got trapped in an antimatter universe when a star exploded. He's been mentioned in passing and even briefly seen in 2020's Timeless Children. In Wishworld, the Rani explicitly targets Omega. Her scheme is to dig beneath the surface of reality and find Omega. The episode even shows the seal of Rassilon, Gallifrey's symbol, in the background, cementing the Gallifreyan connection. If Omega returns from the Underverse, that could mean Gallifrey itself is on the verge of reappearing. Remember that Gallifrey wasn't destroyed, but frozen in a pocket universe in the Day of the Doctor. Omega's liberation could shatter whatever has kept the Time Lords hidden. In short, this setup strongly implies Gallifrey might be coming back next episode with Omega as the key. It's also worth noting that during the scene where the Doctor's memories are being restored, the soundtrack gives us 4 rhythmic drum beats. Da-da-da-da. And I'm sure many of you recognise this immediately as the Master's motif.
Can't you hear it? I thought it would stop. It never does. Never, ever stops.
Now, the Master famously communicated with a 4-beat drum pattern in the episode The Sound of Drums back in 2007. The use of those 4 beats here is almost certainly intentional. A classic wink that the rhythm of the Master is echoing in the background. Could the Master be influencing things, or is this just an homage? Either way, it's a juicy Easter egg. It raises speculation. Maybe the Master will turn up in the finale, or at least it shows Davies is playing with classic audio cues to hint at things beyond the Rani's scheme. The biggest surprise cameo in this series of returning characters is that of Susan Foreman, played by Caroline Ford. the Doctor's granddaughter from the very first episode of Doctor Who. Susan's presence, and now the Doctor's daughter, Poppy, too, personalises the stakes for the Doctor and hints that rescuing Gallifrey, or Omega, might also mean reuniting with family. It's pure speculation for now, but clearly Susan has been hidden in this plot and will likely be crucial next episode. Wishworld has raised the stakes sky high. The Rani is out of the shadows, Omega is on the brink of return, and even Susan is back in the mix. Our season finale breakdown is coming, and you'll want to be ready for what happens next. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Prepare yourself for the ultimate Whoniverse showdown. It's going to be a ride you won't forget.